Big breaking news coming in this evening. This is from the latest figures from Mumbai as the city records a sharp spike in COVID cases. 757 cases in the last 24 hours alone. Alarm bells, of course, during the festive season. Shweta joins us for more on this. Shweta, just explain to our viewers the huge jump that we have seen in numbers over the past few days.
Absolutely, Aarti. The COVID number are increasing day by day, and today if we speak about Mumbai's case, it's 757 new cases of coronavirus. Now in the visuals you will find out just behind me, there's massive crowd, but at the same time, the COVID cases are also increasing. If we talk about past 1 week data, Aarti, on 17th of December, Mumbai recorded near about 295 cases, but now, while reporting this, there are 757 new cases of COVID. That shows a sharp spike in COVID cases. What we have got to know is also that the cases are rapidly increasing, and as the threat of Omicron variant is also looming large, it is very important to understand why people are always speaking about Omicron variant. It is just that it is highly transmissible, more highly transmissible than the Delta variant, what we have seen in second COVID wave. Through my visuals, you please understand, my viewers can also understand. See, there's huge crowd in the market. There's night curfew also being. Mask कहाँ है? आपने मास्क अच्छे से नहीं लगाया है. आप मार्केट में बच्चे के साथ आई हैं. Well, you will find so many faces like this without mask, and people are here in public place, although civic body has imposed night curfew and all the rules, regulation to follow the COVID norms. But what is clearly seen is people brazenly opening, being in the market. Madam, आपका mask कहाँ है? आप public place पे आई हैं. Cases बढ़ गए हैं मैम COVID के.
हाँ, मेरे रख के किधर गए क्या हो?
Well, if you see, people are out brazenly opening here, and people are roaming here without mask. And when we ask about the excuse they produce is very worrisome. Some say it's there in my bag, like the lady said before. And also, the COVID cases which are increasing day by day, one should also understand the doubling rate is also a point of concern here. Yeah. Just a week before, there was around 295 cases, and now it has shot up to 757, Aarti.
Yeah, there's quite a huge rise in cases in just about 4 days. Actually, we've seen more than a double increase. But it's not just Mumbai. Let's also bring you the latest figures from the national capital. Much like Mumbai, a massive spike in Delhi also with 249 cases being recorded in the last 24 hours. The city is now reporting a positivity rate of 0.43%. Dr. Rajiv Das Gupta of the National COVID Task Force joins us this evening. Dr. Das Gupta, good evening. Thanks so much for speaking to Mirror. Now, we've just got the figures from Mumbai and Delhi, two of the most crowded metro cities in India. How do you read these numbers, and what is the advice that you would like to give residents of both these cities, residents who have just been acting almost like there is no pandemic?
Yeah, good evening. To put context to these figures, if we look back at the South African situation in the first 3 weeks of December, between 1st December and 21st December, they had a 380% rise in these 3 weeks, and including a 25% rise in deaths. That's what the South African experience is. If you see that UK, there was a 101% rise. Now, that is the rate at which Omicron-led surges are going to increase, and that's possibly what we are witnessing in megacities like Delhi and Mumbai. Also, the fact that in these two cities, or most cities for that matter, 2 doses of vaccination has been completed reasonably early. And therefore, these would be the ones who would, in a sense, be more susceptible to this new variant.
Well, Dr. Das Gupta, the initial information that is coming in, of course, basis the analysis of the Omicron cases, is that it's not as severe. It hasn't resulted in as many hospitalizations, but the transmission rate is much higher. Now, Is that something, and basis these numbers, is that something, a trend that you can also see?
Yes, going by the experience in the rest of the world, we can certainly expect a doubling time of about 3 days or so. So this is going to increase rapidly. But till we really have testing at the community level, we won't be able to pick up so many cases for the basic reason that most cases are mild and may not therefore present to the health facilities, and therefore relatively less may be tested, and therefore the numbers may seem relatively less and comfortable, but that is not.
Well, actually, that brings me to my next question. Is it time to perhaps do genome sequencing of a larger number of cases? Delhi has said that all positive cases will be sent to genome sequencing. Is it time to broaden the scope of that, which is currently limited mostly to passengers who've come from international flights?
No, it has already been broadened, and the government has taken a decision to actually test all, or as far as possible, most of the new cases in these major cities. So that is a very important and a very positive step. And I'm sure more information would be forthcoming in a week or two. Let's remember that genomic surveillance test or genomic analysis can only be manifest over time, which is 1 or 2 weeks, when we can see whether the Omicron is increasing or not at a certain pace. So we have to give a bit of a time for that trend to emerge.
Okay, Dr. Rajiv Das Gupta of the National COVID Task Force, really appreciate you joining us this evening. We're bringing you the latest numbers coming in from Mumbai and from Delhi. These for the last 24 hours, there has been quite a spike, especially in Mumbai. There is almost more than double of cases in Mumbai that's been recorded. In just about 4 days, the cases have jumped up. Mumbai is now reporting over 700 COVID cases in the city, and even Delhi, in fact, even Delhi has seen a spike with 249 cases in the last 24 hours. Just to give you some perspective, on the 20th of December, there were about 91 cases of that are tested positive. 4 days from now, it is actually doubled to 180 cases. On the 24th of December, we have 180 positive cases, whereas on the 20th, there were 91, a clear pattern here of a doubling of cases in just 4 days. Similarly, even in Mumbai, there has been a doubling of cases, about 295 cases on the 17th of December, and a week after that, 757 cases that have been reported today. Shweta still with us. Shweta, just put these numbers in context for our viewers and this doubling that we are seeing.
Well, yes, Aarti, we have seen such massive increase in the COVID numbers. We have seen that last week it was around 295 cases, but now it has jumped to 757 cases. Now that's quite sharp spike in COVID cases what Mumbai is witnessing right now. And behind me also, through the visuals, you will understand there's a lot of crowd, sea of people behind me. People are out on shopping. Although BMC has imposed the COVID guidelines, including they have imposed about the night curfew. Here, if we talk about the doubling of rate, that's more important here to understand that it is 757 cases which have been recorded from November. Well, this is the highest number of cases what we have recorded, because in November the cases were somewhere around 150 to 250 cases which was being recorded, but now it has taken a sharp jump, which is around 750. Now, if we speak about the doubling of rate, Aarti, it's now 1,383 days. It means the days are, in fact, the decreasing. That's a major concern for Mumbaikas. They should understand that, as many as COVID numbers are increasing, it can be a worrisome situation for the entire city. Also, in past 24 hours, if we speak about the tracing, it is high-risk tracing. Yes, Aarti.
Okay, I apologize for having to cut you off, Shweta. We're completely out of time. But for Mumbaikars and those who stay in Delhi, these numbers are a precursor. It is a warning, so do take it seriously.